Oh my god, hey, it's me. I'm here, I'm back. Welcome to the video. It's been about a week, just over a week actually. I'm trying to find a schedule that, doesn't make me want to die. I do believe I'm close to pinning something down that works for me. I also still don't have an actual microphone, so my voiceover quality is still not great, but I'm going to start looking for one. I'm going to start looking for an actual microphone soon. So, Mom, if you're seeing this, and I know that's highly likely, I know that you have a microphone that you've offered to let me use, but even then, I'm still eventually going to have to buy my own one for myself anyway, so that's my defense in case you ask. But yeah, so today, if you haven't already guessed, this video is about Lego Monkie Kid, or just Monkie Kid. If you're unfamiliar with this show, it was inspired by the Chinese story Journey to the West. Monkie Kid follows MK as he gets the Monkey King staff and then basically becomes a superhero. It's kind of a super goofy, silly, fun show that eventually and actually has some really interesting plot lines and some really good character development. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend going to watch it because honestly, it's the whole show is just such a banger, really. I've been hyperfixating on it for 2 or 3 weeks, and this is the longest that I've ever been interested in a series ever. There's 4 seasons out total, and I don't want to spoil anything, but MK, the main character, as I mentioned before, really goes through some amazing character development, and as I watch, I feel like I'm developing with him as he goes through all the villains and stuff, which is super awesome. And also, the fandom for Monkie Kid is also so incredibly kind and lovely. From what I've experienced interacting with others in the community, it's not toxic, and honestly, everyone's so sweet, especially everyone on Tumblr and TikTok. I've been posting a lot on Tumblr recently, and my art has gotten a lot more appreciation there, so that makes me super happy. So today, I'm not actually going to talk about the character that's in the Speedpaint, the original character. I'm actually going to be talking about some of the canon characters from the show some more, specifically 2 of my favorites. The reason I'm not talking about this guy is because they don't really have a backstory yet. It was just one of those moments where I just wanted to draw something for the sake of drawing, and this character was just what I came up with at the time. So the first character that I'm going to be talking about from the show is Red Sun. You might recognize him from my previous video with the horns and the fire and stuff. Red Sun is the son of the Demon Bull King, who is one of Monkey King's main enemies, and is typically seen clashing with MK in a very classic, goofy hero/villain battles, kind of. In the series, Red Sun is kind of this goofy, dramatic, over-the-top villain, almost like a classic cartoon villain. He's an inventor, so he's really intelligent. Red Sun made the bull clones / the robots that the Demon Bull family uses in the show for world domination, evil demon stuff. But throughout the series, he's shown to actually be quite a caring character, despite putting on this annoyed, overdramatic villain act. He deeply respects his father and his legacy, and thus deeply cares about both his parents' opinions of him. He tries really hard to be a good son and to get his parents' approval, and his main goal for his inventions and stuff is to essentially hand the world over to his parents on a nice shiny silver platter. Red Sun is prone to outbursts of rage, and since his hair is also made of fire, when he has some of these outbursts, it's very obvious because kind of like how a train has that angry poof of smoke, he has an angry flare of his hair, and it's actually such a cool design. And it looks super sick in the show too. The second character, or the next character that I want to talk about in the show is MK. MK, as I mentioned before, is the main protagonist in Lego Monkey Kid. He's the superhero in the story who gets Monkey King's magic staff and basically becomes his successor. In the show, MK is very friendly and sociable, having a handful of close friends and spending a lot of time hanging out with them and playing games, going to the arcade, classic friend things. He's also a delivery boy on the side of being a superhero, but he has a tendency to get quite distracted during deliveries, causing him to basically get in trouble with his boss, like all the time. MK can be quite impatient, which also ties into the whole getting distracted and the lack of focus part of his personality. He cares a lot and is much more open about his feelings than Red Sun is, but he's also just as insecure. He has a lot of doubts about being Monkey King's successor and very often feels like he wasn't the right pick, which leads to some confidence issues and self-doubt down the line as things progress in the story. There are also a ton of other interesting characters like May, who is MK's best friend and the descendant of the Dragon of the West, Pigsy, who is the owner of Pigsy's Noodles and MK's boss, Tang, who is, funnily enough, kind of just some random guy who hangs out at Pigsy's Noodles and happens to just know a lot about Chinese mythology. A lot of people in the fandom think that he's a scholar or a historian, but that's never confirmed in the show, I don't think. There's also Sandy, who's a former soldier, and he owns a boat, which is really relevant, and he's also the owner of a lot of cats, a lot of therapy cats. There's Sun Wukong, aka the Monkey King, and MK's mentor, the six-eared macaque, who is Sun Wukong's main enemy and who is also occasionally shown to be MK's sort of side mentor as well at some points. And the last two that I'll mention are the Demon Bull King and Princess Iron Fan, who are Red Sun's parents. There are so many more incredible characters in the show, especially in the most recent season, Season 4. I'm not going to talk about them though because Season 4 is still relatively new, I think. I only watched it quite recently and it's new enough that I don't want to give anyone any spoilers. But like I said, I really do recommend watching Lego Monkey Kid. You might have to do a bit of a deep dive into trying to find where to watch it. I think it's mostly available on Happy Kids, which is a kids streaming app that you can install on your phone and tablets and things. But I don't think that it's available on Happy Kids in Australia. I don't know about other countries, but you'll probably have to look for it. Do a deep dive into the dark web to find some links for it. It's pretty, yeah. If I manage to find a reliable link to it, I will absolutely put it in the description. I've said multiple times, it's a really, really good banger of a show, and I think it's just amazing, really. So that's really all I have for today. Thank you for being here and putting up with all of this rambling. If you enjoyed this, please stay, and if you wanted to support me, please like and subscribe, and consider donating to my Ko-fi if you're interested. And if you also have any feedback or suggestions, let me know in the comments. I would love to hear from you guys. And yeah, have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye!